Xiaomi recently launched the Mi A1, a stock Android version of the Mi 5X. Is this truly the smartphone everyone's been waiting for? Let's find out. Now, for an everyday smartphone buyer, Xiaomi phones are great. They offer excellent build quality, impressive hardware at a really affordable price. But the Xiaomi Mi A1 is not your typical Xiaomi smartphone. For a price of Rs 14,999, the phone will go on sale in India on the 12th of September. The thing that sets apart the Mi A1 from other Xiaomi phones is the fact that this does not run MIUI and in fact runs Google's stock Android. Now, most Xiaomi users will have mixed emotions about this. Whereas on one hand, Xiaomi became popular because of the MIUI community and the forums that are highly active, and most Xiaomi users who like customizing and playing around with their device enjoy going to the forums and getting updates and tweaks. But also because Xiaomi, like every Chinese smartphone manufacturer, manufactures so many smartphones that providing updates for each and every smartphone has become difficult for the company. And in most cases, you don't get updates for a whole year to the latest Android operating system. Well, Xiaomi seems to have solved that problem with the Mi A1, where on one hand you lose the customizations and custom menu options of MIUI, you do get stock Android, which will be a lot more easier to update by the company than MIUI itself. The phone does run Android 7.1.2 out of the box, and there are only a bunch of custom applications on there that are from Xiaomi, and also the camera application is a custom Xiaomi camera application because the Google camera application does not support a depth mode or dual sensors at the moment. Now let's talk about build quality. The Mi A1, just like the Mi 5X, is completely made out of a unibody aluminum shell, which is really nice to look at. It is going to be available in two colors, the black and the gold that you see over here. The phone is extremely well built. It does have Gorilla Glass 3 over at the front, and while the back is quite like the iPhone 7 Plus or the OnePlus 5, it is extremely comfortable to hold in the hand thanks to the rounded edges that merge with the frame of the phone, giving you a really comfortable in-hand feel. Now, if we do talk about the hardware, the Xiaomi Mi A1 runs a Qualcomm Snapdragon 625 chipset, which is an octa-core chipset running at 2 GHz. You also get the Adreno 506 GPU. You do get 64GB of onboard storage, but you can pop in a micro SD card up to 128GB in the SIM2 slot. You also get 4GB of RAM. Now, over at the front, you get a 5.5-inch display with a 1920 by 1080p resolution. This is a LTPS display. The phone does have a 3080 mAh battery, and we'll talk about the battery in just a minute. And over at the back, sitting under the camera sensors, is the main fingerprint sensor. The Mi A1 does have a USB Type-C port, and it does support quick charging, and it does come with a 2-amp charger inside the box. Now, thanks to the fact that the phone is running stock Android, day-to-day usage running through the user interface and applications is really quick, responsive, and easy to use. Overall, as far as performance is concerned, the phone is highly responsive and will work well whether you are using it for multitasking, watching videos, or even gaming. The display in itself is quite good to look at. It has great viewing angles, excellent contrast, and easy viewability, and the brightness is good enough for whether you are watching videos indoors or outdoors. You'll thoroughly enjoy the display. The phone does have an extremely loud speaker. It may not have the best quality of audio, but it is extremely loud. The speaker does sit next to the USB Type-C port. You do get two gestures on the phone. You can double click the power button to launch the camera quickly, and then you can also slide your finger on the fingerprint sensor to pull down the notification shade for quick and easy access. Apart from that, you get a completely vanilla build of Android, where you do have Google Now sitting on your left. The device does have Google Assistant, and you do get all your contextual menus that you would from a stock Android build. It essentially is the mini Pixel of 2017, or the more affordable Pixel 2 that is yet to launch. The company has also promised the Android Oreo update before the end of the year 2017. That means that this will be one of the first phones, or at least in the list of the top phones, to get the Android Oreo update. Now, the phone is quite identical to the Mi 5X. The phones are essentially the same phones with different operating systems. They have the same cameras, the same build, the same hardware, and the same in-hand feel, which makes you want to come to the conclusion whether you want stock Android, you should go with the Mi A1, and whether you want MIUI, you can always go with the Mi 5X. Now, one of the most important aspects of this phone are the dual cameras at the back. Much like the Mi 5X, the Mi 5A does have a 12 megapixel telephoto lens with an f2.2 aperture and a 12 megapixel wide lens with an f2.6 aperture. You do get a total 1.25 micron pixel size. Now, images while captured indoor or outdoor are exceptionally good because the phone uses both the lenses to give you ample amounts of light. There is good amounts of contrast, saturation, and if you do have HDR turned on, a good amount of dynamic range as well. While the images sometimes lack detail and sharpness, all in all, the camera output is quite impressive and you'll thoroughly enjoy using the cameras on the smartphone. You do get a portrait mode or a depth mode, and just like any other smartphone in this price bracket or even higher end price brackets, this is mostly a software gimmick and the overall output does look processed quite a lot. That being said, you can still get some impressive blurred out background images if you put a little bit of effort into it. Now, because the camera app is the Xiaomi camera app, you do get your typical options including HDR. You also have the complete Pro mode giving you control over your images. And then you also have things like filters that you can apply before you take the image. The Mi 5A does capture video at 4K at 30 frames per second. We found that the video quality was a lot better than the Xiaomi 5X, as the camera does not hunt for focus as much as the Mi 5X does. Video does look stable, but the phone does lack any sort of image stabilization or optical image stabilization. Therefore, if you have shaky hands like I do, your overall video output will not come out that great. The front camera is a 5 megapixel camera and it does have an f2 aperture. I would have liked to see a wider lens, but you do get your typical profiles like beauty mode, and you can also apply filters before you capture your images, and you can also capture 1080p video with the front camera. Now, the Mi 5A is a dual SIM phone. It will support LTE networks including voice over LTE in India throughout the range of spectrum that is available, so you have everything and every network covered. Signal strength is great indoors as well as outdoors, and overall call quality is quite impressive, with the earpiece being pretty loud. As far as the battery life is concerned, the phone will last you a full day without requiring a charge, giving you ample amounts of screen on time. We got about 5 to 6 hours with extreme usage. The phone also charges up quite quickly thanks to the included charger, and it does support quick charge beyond the charger that is included. So if you do have a quick charge 3 charger, the phone should charge up faster than with the charger included inside the box. Now, because the Mi A1 is running stock Android, the only thing that remains to be seen is if the company will keep up to its promise of offering updates in a timely fashion, and if the phone does get Android Oreo before the end of the year 2017. Now, for a price of Rs 14,999, the Mi A1 is one of the best stock Android options that you can get in this price bracket. Hopefully, the company has enough of these to sell when it goes on sale on the 12th of September, and those looking for the ability to run MIUI on this, a custom ROM will eventually be available, or you can always go for the Mi 5X. That's it for this review, guys. If you like this video, don't forget to smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to iGyaan, and I'll see you guys in the next one.